What do you think of OpenSUSE versus Ubuntu versus Fedora?
Fedora is so bleeding edge that you probably can't work with it. It is worse than Debian, which is ultra stable, but newbies can't even install it because they don't know how to answer some of the installer's questions.
Ubuntu is easy to install. It was designed to be Linux for beginners.
The name is supposed to mean for everyone.
Aside from the jokes that Ubuntu is African for can't install Debian.
Ubuntu is designed to be easy to install and to update. It also has a decent selection of software that you can install with a few clicks of a button, letting you find apps you are familiar with or not too different from what you use.
I know Puppy Linux and other ultra-light Linux versions pick apps that use the least memory and CPU power, but then you get applications you've never heard of.
I think of the biggest draws of Ubuntu is that it is already set up for Steam. Instant plug and play for gaming is attractive.
What about OpenSUSE?
OpenSUSE has excellent online tutorials and a fantastic amount of documentation that, unlike some OS like CentOS, are actually kept up to date.
I like the idea of good online documentation and support, since there isn't much support for most Linux versions.
You have to pay for help with Red Hat Linux. Ubuntu is subsidized by Amazon, so it has some paid tech support people.
What about Fedora?
The team is so busy developing the next big thing that they don't support their existing OS version very well. And they abandon existing OS versions after a year to force everyone to stay on the bleeding edge.
You mean leading edge?
No, I mean bleeding edge, because you're always a beta tester and have no help except to troubleshoot and report it.
Then I'm definitely not going with Fedora.
Ubuntu is good for beginners, but you should be open to OpenSUSE too.